News. Today is Tuesday, January 17th. I'm Hannah King.
And I'm Cassandra Caro.
And here's what's going on at CHS today.
Grizzlies, coming up the week of January 30th through February 3rd is our battle week. This year's theme is Heroes, which are freshmen and sophomores versus villains, which are juniors and seniors. More info to come, so get ready, Grizzlies.
Club news! Attention Interact members. There will be an Interact meeting on Thursday, January 19th in room 67 at lunch. New members welcome.
Avid Club will be having a meeting today, January 17th at lunch.
FCCLA will be having a meeting for all competitors this Thursday, January 19th at lunch.
CSF Spring Semester. CSF applications are now available in the College Career Center. Applications are due along with $10 semester dues, no later than January 31st, 2023. See Ms. Lind in the Career Center for details. Senior news! Hey seniors, cap and gown payments are due February 15th. See Ms. Harley for more info.
Career Center. Follow Career Center News on Instagram at centralhs_college career.
Seniors, reminder, the FAFSA/CATA is due March 2nd. If you need help completing the FAFSA or CATA, please plan to attend one of the remaining in-person workshops or schedule an appointment with Mrs. Lind.
Seniors, make sure to visit the CHS College and Career page on our website and click on the Scholarship Information tab to learn about the many scholarship opportunities available. This page is being updated daily and deadlines vary.
PSAT. Sophomores interested in taking the PSAT this spring can visit the College and Career page to sign up. The deadline is January 20th and the PSAT will be given on February 22nd.
SAT. Juniors interested in taking the SAT this spring can visit the College and Career page to sign up. The deadline is February 3rd and the SAT will be given on March 22nd.
Ag news, there is a meat judging informational meeting on Friday the 13th at lunch in room 41. State conference applications will be available this week. Sports news, boys soccer versus Buchanan. Start time 3 p.m. at Collegian Stadium. See coach for release and leave times.
Girls soccer at Buchanan, 3 to 7 p.m. at Buchanan High School. See coach for release and leave times.
Boys basketball at Buchanan, 4 p.m. to 9 at Buchanan High School. See coach for release and leave times.
Girls basketball versus Buchanan, 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Central East High School. See coach for release and leave times.
I heard a quote the other day that made me think. It said, apologizing is great, but it doesn't really change anything. You know what does? Action. And that quote really stuck with me. And the reason why is when I look back at high school and think about who I was, it's pretty clear that I wasn't always a kind person. You know, I picked on people, I gossiped, I made fun of people, I held grudges. I was, in some ways a typical teenager, but in a lot of ways I was just kind of cruel to people. In my senior year, I decided I wanted to be different. I wanted to change who I was as a person. And as I made this mental shift to change kind of who I was, I realized one of the biggest obstacles that I kept running into was that people didn't trust me. And I remember sitting down talking with my mom, asking her, why don't you think people like me? Why do you think I'm having such a hard time changing the perception of who I was? And my mom just looked at me and she just basically explained that I wasn't a kind person. She said, do you remember, when we moved to this town and you were a new student and you didn't have friends, you had purple hair and kids picked on you. Someone drew a swastika and taped it to your locker. One night kids invited me to the movies to ask if I wanted to hang out and I showed up and they didn't because it was a joke. And she reminded me of basically the pain that I went through in high school due to the cruelty of others. She asked me if I remembered all these really hurtful things. And when I told her that I did, she said, well, I'm not that kid anymore. She basically explained I was the other kid now. I was that kid that was cruel and mean to people. And she said that if I wanted people to like me and if I wanted people to understand who I was trying to be moving forward, the first thing I had to do was apologize. The first thing I had to do was ask people to forgive me. As I've gotten older, I've realized there's a big difference between saying I'm sorry and will you forgive me? Saying I'm sorry is something that's almost second nature for us. It's easy to throw the phrase around. Sometimes we just say it because we think it's what we're supposed to say. But asking for forgiveness requires action. So think about it for a second. Somebody that's hurt your feelings, they've wronged you, they've done something to harm you. If they were to come up and say, hey, I'm sorry, or hey, will you forgive me? It might not seem like a big difference, but it makes all the difference in the world. And there will come this time in life where someone wrongs you, someone hurts your feelings, or you'll wrong someone or you'll hurt someone else. And what's most important isn't what happened, but how you respond to it. And a lot of us, we've experienced it. We've seen this played out. A lot of us have had a friendship when we were younger. We were super close friends, something happened, someone's feelings got hurt, someone said or did the wrong thing, and enough time passed without either person asking for forgiveness or apologizing, and before you know it, it was like a friendship ended. Now we can't stand that person. We've held this grudge and we've become bitter. And saying I'm sorry might have fixed the entire problem. We all have the ability to forgive. All of us have the opportunity to forgive someone who's wronged us. And I think oftentimes we look at forgiving someone as a sign of weakness. You know, we think that if we forgive them, it's like we've let them off the hook and now they're free to do what they want. And sometimes we want people to know just how much they've hurt us or just how upset we are, just how deep that wound was. You know, I don't think that forgiving someone is a sign of weakness. I don't think that at all. I think the ability to forgive someone, it shows strength. I think being able to forgive someone who's hurt you, it shows a lot of maturity. We all know people who are bitter and angry and spiteful, and it's, you know, they've got this grudge that they're holding against someone and they just won't let it go. You know, the thing about holding a grudge or being bitter is, you know, you think you're hurting another person or you think you're taking it out on them, but holding a grudge, being bitter, all it's really doing is hurting yourself. So think about the next time someone wrongs you, someone hurts you. You know, instinctively we want to get mad, we want to get bitter, we want to be angry. What if we paused and took a moment and looked at life through their perspective? Because I get it. You know, maybe your teacher was hard on you, but maybe they're going through rough stuff at home. Maybe some kid at school, you know, they picked on you or they were mean to you, but, you know, maybe their parents are going through a divorce or maybe they've got something happening that you don't know about. You know, maybe a coach didn't play you, but that's because, you know, you didn't put in the time. I mean, there's always reasons and factors that we don't always understand and we don't always know about. Learning to forgive and asking for forgiveness will change your perspective on people and life. And we're all on the spectrum somewhere. You know, some of us, we need to start with ourselves. We've messed up, we've made a mistake. We need to forgive ourselves so we can move on and be free. And for a lot of us, you know, we need to forgive someone else. You know, we're letting someone take up space in our brains without paying rent because we're so bitter and angry at the things that they've done, and that's not allowing us to be free either. And for a lot of us, we've hurt someone. We've wronged someone else. So the next time you wrong someone, the next time you hurt somebody, look them in the eye and ask them, will you forgive me? I promise it'll make all the difference in the world.
Please stand for the flag salute. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Today's weather is sponsored by all the fresh rain we've gotten over the weekend. Today's a high of 52, low of 37, fog, partly sunny. Have a great day and a great week, Grizzlies. The dad joke of the day. You know, my dentist is a really mean guy. He really hurts my fillings.
And that's all the news we got for you today, Grizzlies.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CentralHS_.
I'm Hannah King. And I'm Cassandra Carr.
And we will see you later.